Hi, this is Jack Stanley, and I wanted to talk for a few moments on the World's Fair of 1964 1965. It was an amazing time, and it was quite a remarkable thing to see. I was there. It's been gone for over 55 years now. And I know I'm rather wrapped up here because it's like 2 degrees outside. And inside here it's a little cold too, so I've got some wraps around me to keep me warm. But the thing is, when you think about the World's Fair in Flushing Meadows in 1964, it was groundbreaking. It was something new. It was something that people had never ever seen before. It's pretty incredible. I remember my eyes were wide open and I was seeing so much. And one has to remember at the World's Fair of 64, 65. I don't think I have to say 64, 65 anymore. I'll just say the World's Fair. There was something new that nobody had ever seen before, and it was from Disney. And it was audio animatronic figures. And they moved and they talked. And, we had never seen anything like that before. And I remember walking in to meet Mr. Lincoln. That was the Lincoln exhibit at the Illinois building. And I remember the room was very plush with fancy seats. And there was Lincoln. He was sitting in his chair, and he was looking around the room. As a young kid, I was pretty impressed because I didn't quite understand what an audio animatronic figure was. I would in time. Eventually I would work for Disney years later and spend lots of time with audio animatronic figures. In fact, the Hall of Presidents was one of the places where I worked. But that's neither here nor there. The thing that was most fascinating about the fair was the fact that we saw the future. And we had these wonderful exhibits where you might ride in a car and watch time go by. You'd see dinosaurs, you'd see cavemen, you'd see the future, you'd see highways, you'd see science, you'd see the way we would drive, you'd see the home of the future. And you could see things from the past. I remember seeing the Piazza on the moving sidewalks, and there were stars behind the statue. It was very, very impressive. I remember riding on the people mover there and sitting around the globe and the Unisphere, which was really quite fascinating. When you look at it and you'd see it still there. There was so much to see, so much to enjoy, and to this day I can still picture in my mind's eye so much that was there. I remember the smoke ring machine. That caught my attention. I always remember that. And just watching all the people and watching all the events taking place. And I signed one of the pages for the time capsule, which is to be opened in 5,000 years. I remember getting a dinosaur, a wax dinosaur. It was Sinclair, and they had a dinosaur park. And you'd walk through and you'd see all the dinosaurs. It was really fascinating. And you know something, when you're a kid, 7 years old, 8 years old, your mind is fascinated with dinosaurs. And there they were. And some of them were moving. And we went to, the Carousel of Progress, and nobody was living in there. They were all machines. It was so incredible. Of course, I will say I saw It's a Small World there, and I was really excited about it. And 25 years later, when I did work for Disney, the first thing I wanted to see was It's a Small World. Well, it was really good in 1965. It wasn't quite the same 25 years later. It was very different. And, our tastes had changed. You got to remember how shocking it was in 1964, 65 to see something like that. Whereas in the 1990s, it was commonplace. And so much has changed over the years, over the last 55 years since this all closed. I went walking there around 1989, 24 years after the fair closed. And the New York Pavilion still had some of the plastic on the roof. Some was hanging down. It was kind of seedy looking, to be honest. I think they fixed it up a lot more now. Once again, I'm talking about 30 some odd years ago. I was there after I had been there, 55 years ago. And I don't know what it looks like, but I'm sure it probably looks a lot better. And just thinking about all of this and the fascinating things that we saw. And we saw the future, and we knew what the future was going to be like. And the interesting thing, whenever we talk about the future now, we base it on what we understand now. Therefore, the future doesn't seem extremely foreign to us. And if you look at the real future, the future that is now, that was explained to me 55 years ago, very little of it, very little bit of it, came actually true. And so much of it remains in the realm